The skies over Malaysia, once a familiar sight for frequent travelers and a second home for pilots who frequently flew in and out of the region. Since March 2020, the airspace has become a quiet domain, with far fewer birds in the skies. This was because of the travel restrictions imposed when Malaysia closed its national borders, which at the time of recording still remain closed. For the pilots whose daily routine often involved flying to different countries, their work also came to a grinding halt when the movement control order came into effect. For pilots Surren Kanna and Dinesh Nadarajah, it was no different.
My last flight was March 2020, and it all just gradually just decreased as we thought we were going to fly again, but then flights were cancelled, and because the virus was just getting worse, and then all the borders were shut, so we couldn't fly, and therefore I'm sure everyone is aware of it, where AirAsia X and AirAsia have all been having retrenchments and stuff, and for now the latest will be unpaid leave for AirAsia X, certain pilots.
For all the industry, aviation industry, I think it started hitting just after March onwards, because I think in January, February people were still flying, but it was drastically coming down to almost cancellation and everything.
No one really could see what was going to happen. Everyone was hoping for the best, but as things got worse, they had to take measures to keep the company afloat, and that's what I think most companies are doing. And as it came to a situation where they needed to retrench, they did. And for now, hopefully, everything is still going to be fine. That's be for the future, but nothing in our hands, I guess.
As the world struggled to battle the pandemic, the job market also fell victim to the economic blight that came with it.
Of course, before I got retrenched, I was just telling Surren that I prepared the family and also prepared financially and mentally for all of this. Just about 3-4 months before getting retrenched, because I saw it coming. Because like again, I'm from Singapore Airlines and I'm a Malaysian, I'm a foreigner, so when there is a retrenchment, the foreigners go first. So I knew that my days have been numbered. So in terms of accepting it and embracing it, yes, I did that, and whatever I need to do, sell my car, refinance the loans, or apply for moratorium, everything was done. So when the retrenchment happened, I was well prepared, so it was not a major shocker because I accepted it.
I would consider myself lucky because I survived the retrenchment, of course, and we're still hoping that things might improve. We're still hopeful. I mean, we know that one day the airline industry will definitely pick up, and we will definitely be back to flying sometime in the future. But for now, there's nothing much we can plan further in the airline wise, because that's just all up to the virus and how it dies off.
Both Dinesh and Surren believe that travel will soon reopen in due time, starting with domestic travel, while international flights will be much further down the line.
I guess if you look at domestic, definitely there's going to be lots of domestic travel, probably middle of the year or something like that, because the borders are still not open. So international travel is so subjective at the moment, because based on vaccination, and if the other country want to open up the border for you, so it needs to have agreement. So that is something, I guess, depends on how many % of the population is being vaccinated. So then they can open up the borders. Let's say, for example, between Singapore and Malaysia, let's say we have more than 60-70% of our population being vaccinated, then there is a safety net to play with. But if it's domestic, it's no issue. I guess when the PKP is up, we're going to see the same thing that happened before this, where they're going to promote tourism Malaysia to boost everything. So that's how domestic is going to be the first. International is going to take some time, and I guess people are going to check our passports, and when we land overseas, that are we vaccinated or not. Probably there's going to be a new protocols for it until everyone, the whole population of the world, is being vaccinated to a certain level.
Is this going to be something new? I mean, for me, I'm not really expecting anything. I just take it as it comes, because I was hoping on it to end, but it's not ending soon. So I'm just, all right, I'll just follow the flow now. All right, COVID, I'll follow you.
And actually, if you think about it, it's also scary, because for domestic, we know how the compliance rate for SOP or in Malaysia. But let's say if you're going to fly to overseas, right? How the citizens of the country are complying with SOPs, we don't know. You might survive here and you might end up getting COVID over there, because we don't know. So end of the day, it comes down to the risk factor. Do you want to take the risk to travel or not? Or how is the vaccination is going, or what is the infectious rate at the moment as well.
After Dinesh returned to Malaysia, he pitched his idea to Surren to open a coffee business while they were unable to fly.
Roughly around September last year, when I got the news they're going to get retrenched. So I gave Surren a call and I said, you know what, I'm getting retrenched, so we got to move on. And my plan is to come up with a coffee, because in Singapore there's a lot of cold brew going on, but in Malaysia I see it's untapped market. Not many guys doing cold brew. So I told him that I have an idea which I want to do a cold brew. And when I came back to Malaysia, I was doing 14 days of quarantine, so I made all the researches and whatever I need to do. And then I told Surren this my idea. So that's how the whole cold brew started.
But I didn't think he was really going to be serious about it. Then he told me again, I'm like, okay, so you're really serious about this? And I was like, okay, and we can do this, but we need to make sure that it's good, because I'm not really that good in marketing. I need to trust my product for me to sell, and when I tasted it and I knew it was good, so that's why I said, okay, you know what, we can do this.
That is how Takeoff Coffee was born, featuring branding imagery and elements inspired by the aviation industry.
Before this, I was working in Singapore Airlines. The first class passengers used to get all these gourmet coffees like Guatemala, Jamaican, the Brazilian, and everything. But when we come to Malaysia, if you're looking at a cold brew, there's not many options out there. So what I was thinking is, if the passengers in first class and business class can get this kind of high quality coffee, why not we bring that to the Malaysians by cold brew, packing it up in a 300 ml bottle, and also making it affordable and decent price. So now people have an option to have the first class experience in Malaysia with the bottle of our Takeoff Coffee.
We have it on Instagram. So for now we started off with Instagram, and they order by clicking on our WhatsApp link. We're just still brand new. We just launched on 28th of January.
What happened was, from September to January was a lot of R&D. We tested a lot of beans, different timing of brewing, different milk and everything. So we took about 4 months of R&D and sampling to a lot of random people to get feedback. In 12 days, we sold about 550 bottles. So it's been really packed for the 12 days, So it's a good, we're going to thank the customers for supporting us and believing in the coffee. A lot of repeating orders as well. You can customize. So that's why we have this WhatsApp, where you can talk to us and say, what do you want from your coffee? How strong do you want it? Or less sweet, no unsweetened, or even the intensity of the coffee. We can do anything for you. So basically, we are catering the coffee that's why our hashtag is there. It's called Just the Way You Like It.
Perhaps the MCO was a blessing in disguise for Dinesh and Surren, as it provided them with the opportunity to start a business that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to do with their usual busy schedule.
Whatever we do, whatever job we do, we need to find something to keep us going, something to keep us happy at the end of it, right? So as pilots, what we normally do is we try our best to give our passenger the smoothest landing. So the moment you give a smooth landing and the passenger says good landing, that's it. You've done a good job. You're happy about it. So like what Dinesh was saying, in this coffee, we do a smooth landing in your taste buds. So when we have the landing and they come and tell you it tastes good, it makes all the hard work worthwhile. Yeah.
Of course, definitely we are looking to get back to the skies, do our normal routine that we used to do as a pilots. You see, it's always a cycle. If you look at SARS, it was a cycle, but this is a longer cycle, that's all. So now it's like, it's a period where everything is down. Definitely there's going to be up as well. So you just have to hang on and just ride the wave first.
But the good thing about this whole pandemic for us, it's that it has given us a chance to start a business up, which all this while we were, as before, you can see a lot of pilots now coming up with a lot of different businesses, but none of us thought about this during normal times, right? So now is when everyone is starting up something, and it's actually a very good thing. So now we have a business, and hopefully one day you can go back to flying.
Check out Takeoff Coffee on Instagram at takeoff.coffee.